and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Rethinking with me, Rethinking with Nikki. Ano nga ba ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon dito sa aking vlog? Ito ay isang content suggestion coming from a new viewer/subscriber of this channel. Naisip ko na hindi lang naman siya yung mag-benefit from discussing this topic. Kaya nga naisipan ko na gumawa ng content about this one. Alam ko na marami-rami kayo na makarelate tungkol dito. Ano nga ba ang topic na ito? Paano nga ba mag-move on from your ex-partner? Ika nga nila, or as the hackneyed phrase goes, there is no other way to do it but through it. There are no shortcuts, there are no formulas enabled for you to hasten up the process. And in speaking of process, it is indeed the process and not a destination. Ulitin natin, moving on or moving forward from your ex-partner or from your past relationship is a process and not a destination. At yung mga tips na ibabahagi ko sa inyo ay research-based tips. Okay, without further delay, let's now go to the tips on how you can move on from your ex-partner. Tip number 1. Cut ties completely. There shouldn't be any form of contact anymore. You shouldn't contact your ex and you shouldn't allow your ex to contact you. The most important thing about moving on is self-care, and being in contact still with your ex doesn't spell out self-care. It is actually immaturity. I get it that people hang on to the possibility of still having a relationship, quote and unquote relationship, with their ex-partners, be it friendship, be it whatever you wanna call it, basta hindi mawala o maputol yung kanilang connection doon sa tao. Dahil the idea or the thought of dismantling the relationship completely or the connection completely is overwhelming. The danger of that is because you're not utterly healed yet, you are more likely to be hurt again and again. And you don't want that to happen. If you are in the right state of mind, you wouldn't want to be subjected to pain over and over again. So please, let time take its course. Sabi nga, time heals all wounds. But it doesn't mean that all breakups lead to eventual friendship. Remember that. You might ask me, Nikki, paano naman ako? Yung sitwasyon ko, hindi ko po pwedeng hindi kausapin yung ex-partner ko because we have children. Para doon sa ganong sitwasyon and other situations wherein you need, i-emphasize natin yun na, you need to still be in contact with your ex-partners. Set the boundaries, please, okay? Civility is advised, but don't cross the lines and don't let your partner cross those lines. Remember, the goal is to move on.
Ako pa ba'y kayang yakapin?
Number 2 tip, stop dreaming. Have a reality check. Many people don't realize that large majority of what they experience during a breakup doesn't have anything to do or has nothing to do with the relationship that they had. It is actually about idealizing that relationship. For you to be mindful of the reality, it is advised for you to write down all the painful experiences, all the things that hurt you. Our brains tend to recall the good memories because we're trying to get through the pain. We are trying to heal. Sabi nga ng isang clinical psychologist doon sa kanyang TED Talk, focus on your feelings. Focus on the things that really hurt you para ikaw ay makapag-move on. Let's now go to tip number 3. Reconnect with people, but make it more than just about you and your breakup. I understand that you need to vent out, you need to express your emotions or your feelings, but the thing is, you need to have the intention of cultivating relationships outside your old relationship and your old self. This is one of the most effective ways of having a new source of meaning. Bakit nga ba kailangan, Nikki, na may bagong paghuhugutan ng kahulugan ko bilang tao? Because when you part ways with your significant other, you lose that sense of meaning. So us humans being relational beings, it is just wise to build and rebuild connections. Do I make sense now? Yes, Nikki, you make sense now. And the same clinical psychologist said during his TED Talk that you have to ask the question, what do I need? And that's the answer. You need to have a new source of meaning. Let's now go to the 4th research-based tip. According to Slaughter and Ward, there are 2 ways of coping with a breakup. Yung una, yung tinatawag nating cognitive reappraisal. Ano nga ba yung cognitive reappraisal na yan, Nikki? It is looking at the situation or looking at the breakup from a different perspective. It is seeing the breakup not as a threat but as a challenge. It is a challenge for you to be more self-reliant, for you to be sturdier, for you to be wiser and stronger. It is seeing the breakup not as a loss, but an opportunity. It is an opportunity for you to rediscover yourself. It is an opportunity for you to love yourself more. Dahil dyan, na-preempt ko na yung number 5 tip, but we're not yet done with number 4 tip. At ito nga ang pangalawa, ang tinatawag na redemptive narrative. Ano naman yung redemptive narrative na yan? It is defined as a particular pattern of storytelling. The story that you tell yourself and the story that you tell other people about your very undesirable experience. It is seeing that undesirable event in this particular context, yun ang pakikipag-break mo sa iyong ex-partner as something that is meaningful, as something that has brought you a number of positive outcomes. It is looking at the silver linings from such ang lakas makakatriyo na gray, nakalaloka. Number 5 tip, accept the fact that you are still in love with your ex, but you need to acknowledge the fact that you need to love yourself too. So how do you love yourself? Do something for yourself. Do a hobby or commit to an activity that you have been wanting to do but you didn't have the opportunity to do because you were in a relationship that relationship was an impediment for you to do such or for you to engage in such activity. Or you can also do pampering. Pamper yourself. There's a 2014 study that says that sad songs can make miserable people feel better after a breakup. This is a cognitive reward because you identify with the sad song and you empathize with the singer. So yeah, it is cathartic on your end. So go ahead and listen to, indulge into listening to sad songs. Sabi nga ng clinical psychologist na ito sa kanyang TED Talk, know what you are fighting for. And what you are fighting for is to regain your sense of self. Dahil kapag nakikipag-break ang isang tao, you lose your sense of self. So, regain it, rebuild it, Ikaw ang pinakakailangan ng sarili mo ngayon. So please, love yourself. That's the most important tip amongst all the things that I've mentioned. For those who are moving on from a traumatic relationship, particularly the victims not gender specific of domestic violence, here's my message for you. This one is entitled Scarred But Not Scared, written by yours truly. You are not powerless. You are not to be toyed with, not to be objectified in any way anyhow. Your body should not be mutilated, for it is sacred. You shouldn't be subjected to any forms of abuse just because you are deemed defenseless. You are not powerless. Liberate from the manacles of abuse. You have the power to break free. I did it nearly a decade ago. Yes, I may have been scarred up to the brink of death, but I survived. I did survive. I chose to live meaningfully. No one can silence you. Please choose to fight for your life. Please choose to love yourself. Please choose to live. You are purposed to live. Move on and live. This is from me, Nikki Cabanting, a survivor and not a victim of domestic violence.